a gum chewing what I've been playing video here tonight. I got 3 games here I want to talk about. The first one is the gameplay video I made yesterday, another one of the Skyrim gameplays. I was just gonna kind of film the video for it, but then I ended up completing the Thieves Guild quest line. I just did another random quest too last night. I'm trying to get my level to 50 just so I can get that achievement. I picked up a couple other achievements while I was at it. This fucking game though, I start playing it and I'm like, oh, I gotta put some time into it now. It's ridiculous. But everybody knows Skyrim at this point. It's been out for 500 years, it feels like. Still classic. It brings that nostalgic feeling whenever I fucking put it in and play it, which is awesome, and it's still fun to play, so that's cool. There's also some other... I can bring the Thieves Guild back to its former glory. I think you have to generate a certain amount of money or some shit. I forget what you do on that. But I'll probably play this guy. I legendaried a few of my stats so I can knock them back down to level up faster. I think I'm at level 47, so I'll probably finish that up maybe tomorrow. Or I'll go back to the other games, which I will go back to anyway, regardless. But yeah, that's the first one. Second one here is Star Wars Squadrons. It's a flight game. I thought I might have a little trouble with the cockpit view the game puts you in. But it's been fine so far. I played the first, I played the prologue, and now you kind of like, after the prologue, you can kind of walk around it. You can use, like, I guess you play as both, but there's an Imperial pilot and a Rebel pilot. And I just chose the Imperial one first, but it tells you that you'll use both throughout the story, and I started using them. You were chasing like it was after they destroyed Alderaan, from the movies with the Death Star. And you were chasing some people who had evacuated. And there's this other guy that's with you, I forget his name, but he kind of is like, this is fucked up, why are we going after refugees? And he turns on you, and ends up going to the rebel side, but you gotta try to find them, and then you're destroying a bunch of X-Wings and some turrets. And then it flips, and you're using the rebels as that guy, because that part of the mission ends with you chasing the traitor, and then it starts with the rebels coming to kind of, he's there, but they're kind of coming and attacking, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm on the good side now. And then it takes place like 4 years later, and the Empire's been beaten, but now, they're still dealing with the Empire still pretty much, because, there's still tons of enemies out there, and they're dealing with them. And that guy who was a traitor is now like high up in the Rebel command or whatever. So I guess in the next mission I'll be doing is a Rebel one. It's cool though. It looks really good. This is another game where I wonder what it looks like on the Series X, but it is actually a really good looking game. The combat's fun. You can do a bunch of shit, I had my ion missiles, whatever the fuck, the proton missiles, whatever the fuck they're called, on the X-Wing, and you got your blasters or whatever, your lasers, what the fuck they call them. But you can, put all your energy into your shield, you can do this whenever you want, or put it all into lasers so you get more action out of them before they kind of recharge. Or you can put everything into your shield so you take more damage and shit like that. And the movement and everything works well. It moves pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it so far. I haven't really crashed into anything or anything like that, but pretty cool game so far. Actually, I'm glad I picked it up. Like I said, it was only $5.99 on from Clyde. So that's the second one I have not played with the multiplayer. I don't have gold, so. And the third game is Biomutant. The other game I picked up with. Was the Series X as well. Star Wars Squadrons. Cool game. This game was very, I won't say controversial, it's kind of not the word, but very middle of the ground in the reviews. Like, a lot of people praised it because it was made by a small team, and other people were, like, really pointing out its flaws and shit. I'm about 3 hours in. You're this dude here. You can customize your character a little bit in the beginning. I don't know if he has a name. I can't remember. But starts off, you're like fighting this dude, and then it like goes back and you do all your stats and shit, and then you start off from that point. Now you have like two little angels, a bad angel and a good angel, or whatever. I don't know what they have specific names. So you can go down the good path or the bad path in this game. I'm going good so far. So there's choices you can make throughout, kind of, to get you points or whatever. But I guess the Tree of Life, now it's kind of cool. The backstory is kind of cool. It's like, you're a mutant. Everybody's mutants here, so, like, some fucking company, these are a human company, did all shit, the Earth got all destroyed and shit. I guess some humans escaped in spaceships or whatever. You get kind of some backstory when you find things. And everybody else that's still there are not even humans, they're just like these mutants and shit. But their Tree of Life's fucked up, and there's like something's doing it. Like I said, I forget all his names because I jumped into Squadrons and then I jumped into Elder Scrolls. But you have to beat, I guess, certain things. I forget what they're called. They're like destroying the shit. And use this dude. This is your little automatron thing, grasshopper. It's pretty much the thing that talks to you and shit. And you have some flashbacks to when you were young with your Muma and your Popski, and you see that backstory as well. It's kind of cool because you see destroyed out human shit and stuff. And I went through a little town and shit. There's two sides you can choose, like, that are fighting each other. I chose the good one. I think you can change it at any point too. You can kind of turn on them. I took over one of the other sides, like bases or whatever, forts. The combat in this game's pretty fun. Someone in a comment on the last one said, it's floaty. I would agree, it's kind of floaty, and it also doesn't pack a big punch when you're kicking ass. It all looks good, and it actually plays good. It's very kind of Devil May Cry-ish, because you have your guns and I had a sword, and then you pick up other weapons and shit throughout, and I found, like, I guess it's part of the main game, a fist. I'm using that big, like, metal fist now. But the combat it looks good and it doesn't feel bad, but I feel like the hits and shit don't have like a big impact. And you get special moves that you can do and shit like that. You can craft stuff in this game, which is kind of cool. You can, you find a lot of shit loot throughout the world. You can break some of that loot down if you want into materials. You can, I was gonna say, maybe I didn't mean to say something, I don't know. I said the crafting's kind of cool. I haven't done a ton of it. There's a ton of stuff to find in the environment. It seems like a fairly decent sized world. There's like areas you can go to and stuff. I guess I forget the thing is called something puff. The first thing I gotta take out. My guy pretty much looks close to this. If you like, you get attributes and stuff, and there's different ways to upgrade. You can upgrade your guns, your moves. There's like biomutant stuff too. Like, so I have a flame thing he'll do, and he kind of like spits out an acid type thing. Is another one. So there's a bunch of different kind of things to upgrade. It's a pretty good looking game. A nice looking world, has a nice, very colorful, nice looking game world. The guy who voices the automatrons, pretty good. I think it's called that automatron thing. I think it's what it's called. There's all types of, there's been decent types of enemies so far, like enemy types. That's cool. I do want to get back into it. I was enjoying it, but then I jumped into Squadrons, and then I did the Elder Scrolls gameplay. And of course, it's the fucking Elder Scrolls. So, you know how many times I play it, I start playing it again, and I gotta put some time into it. I give the game credit for that. But this one is pretty fun. It has its flaws, but I don't know. Overall, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, like the person said, the combat does feel a bit floaty, and it doesn't pack a nice punch. But it flows pretty well and stuff, and it's kind of easy to do the moves and shit. You can do dodges and shit like that too, and stuff. I think there's like an active reload too, like in like Gears of War and shit. But pretty cool game that I do want to get back into after I do my crap with Elder Scrolls. Like I said, for such a small dev team to make this is pretty impressive. You know, the story seems kind of interesting. You know, like backstory of like how the planet was kind of fucked up, and the mutants started coming. You know, things started mutating and shit. But I mean, the story of this guy and the rest of the world as it is kind of Final Fantasy type shit. I feel like the Tree of Life has been destroyed in quite a few games over the years. But it looks good, and the combat does flow well enough, even if it doesn't pack a huge punch. Because you can juggle and stuff. Like I said, it's very Devil May Cry, but not as good as a Devil May Cry. But overall, like I said, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's worth checking out as an open world game. There's a decent amount of things you run into and shit you can find and stuff. Nice little game for sure. Especially, like I said, it's such a small team that made it. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, that's what I've